Hey everyone, how is it going, and welcome to another episode of Scape and Listen. I absolutely love making these episodes, and you guys really seem to enjoy them, so I appreciate all the support you guys give me. It really does motivate me to make more of them. That being said, if you guys do enjoy these videos, feel free to leave a like down below. When I'm talking about motivation, I mean when you guys leave a like, when you leave a comment that, gives me feedback. That's what I'm talking about, man. You guys give me such great feedback. And, I really do appreciate it. So, if you guys do enjoy these videos, feel free to leave a like. Alright, so, I actually have quite a few RuneScape topics today. This one, again, with all of my Scape and Listens, they're never RuneScape based, necessarily. But on this one, I actually do have quite a few RuneScape things to talk about. So, there's actually been quite a bit of updates lately. So, we're going to start with the Midsummer event. Basically, there's been quite a few updates to Oldschool lately, and the first one, of course, is the improved Wilderness boss drops. Now, if you guys have seen my Callisto guide or my most recent progress video, you would know that the new Wilderness boss drop tables have been very, very nice to me. Callisto, Vetion, and Venadius, I probably said that wrong, all have new drop tables, which are really, really good, actually. Me and my friends killed Callisto 100 times, and we ended up getting almost 150k per kill. Now, we did get 2 dragon pickaxes, so that obviously skewed the amount per kill by a little bit. But still, that being said, it's still amazing. As long with them getting new drop tables overall, they also got added 3 new rings. The Treasonous Ring, the Tyrannical Ring, and the Ring of the Gods. I believe Callisto drops the Tyrannical Ring, Venadius drops the Treasonous Ring, and Vetion drops the Ring of the Gods. To be honest though, these rings have pretty bad stats. Let's be honest here. None of their stats are good enough to, override the use of an imbued ring from Dagannoth Kings. So, the rings are a bit of a flop, but oh well. Overall, great update to the Wilderness bosses. In other news, they also did update the Calphite Queen's drop table, which is still too shitty to kill, so good work, Jagex. And new clue rewards as well. They added the Ranger's Tunic, which looks really, really cool. I don't even know the stats. I assume it's, similar to Black D'hide. At any rate, it's probably just an item that you wear to look cool. Now onto the really big update, potentially, that I really, really want to talk about. It is what is known as the Continent Expansion. Yes, that's right. Continents. So, basically, here are the proposed ideas that Jagex has provided. First of all, the first one is called Port Roberts, which is a large floating platform town, which, I'm not going to just read this word for word off of the dev blog, but basically, they are giving us 2 potential new areas of the game apart from Gielinor. Now, you're probably like, what the fuck is Gielinor? In case you don't know, the area that we play RuneScape on is called Gielinor. Anyway, they're gonna add new areas, potentially, of course. I'm assuming all this will be polled and so on and so forth. But if you guys haven't checked this out, I would definitely read about it. I will link you guys the dev blog in the description down below. It's actually really, really interesting, and I'm quite interested to see how this develops, and potentially where it could end up. So those are the big RuneScape updates I wanted to talk about. As I said, there's actually quite a bit going on this summer as far as drops go. So good work, updates. Good work, Jagex. As per usual, I honestly can't ever say that I've, made a Scape and Listen where I talked about RuneScape updates that I didn't enjoy. They've always done a very, very good job of putting good updates in the game that the players actually want. So that is our RuneScape topics for the day. Now for the good part, where everyone comes here to listen for. Well, probably. Anywho, before I get into my my main thing, a lot of you guys have said that I should be like a motivational speaker when I'm done with YouTube, which is okay. Basically, though, what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of my topics end up being motivational, or, even though they're not intended to be necessarily, you guys, think that they're motivating and whatnot, which is kind of my goal. My goal isn't to motivate, but I'm trying to, what's the word? I'm trying to like spark interest, like I'm trying to inspire you. That's the word I want. With these videos, when I, pass an idea on to you guys, I'm trying to inspire you. And if I'm motivating you, that's, well, then I'm doing my job, right? So anyway, before I get into my main topic, one thing I want to talk about really quickly is something that happened to me recently that was extremely eye-opening to me. In previous Scape and Listens, I have talked to you guys about how I find it a little ridiculous when people freak out when they talk to me. And it still, of course, happens all the time. People see me and they go, oh my god, man. Well, I'm just like, hi. Like, what's up? It's cool. And I've always thought that it's kind of ridiculous. I'm always like, I don't know why people freak out. It really isn't a big deal. And I still do feel this way even after this experience. But it really opened my eyes as to how to look at it. Basically, on livestream the other day, someone said that someone asked Bodhi on his livestream, who were like, his favorite. I don't know if they said favorite or just good live streamers. And I don't know if this is true or not, of course. I didn't hear him say this, so it's just word of mouth. But they said that Bodhi mentioned me in the good streamer list. And I was excessively giddy. I was live streaming at the time, and someone told me that Bodhi said that I was a good live streamer. I got super fucking giddy. Like, I just this dumb grin on my face. I was like, did he really? Did he seriously say that? Like, I got excited. I got super giddy, and I was like, I probably shouldn't be freaking out about this, but that's like, that means so much. Like, if someone as godlike as Bodhi, that's that big up there would say that about me, like, it means so much. It's ridiculous. It like I said, I was just giddy. And then, after I said that, someone said, yeah, now you know what it feels like when we talk to you. And I was like, wow. If I could be considered a good streamer by by far one of the most popular RuneScapers in our community, and it made me that giddy, then if a fan got to talk to me and it made them excited and giddy, what's the difference? And I was just like, wow, it was like, I actually stopped talking on the stream for like 30 seconds. Like, it was just like, my brain exploded. I was just like, wow, that opened my eyes. So, whenever people freak out when they see me now, I don't have that same mindset. I don't think, geez, would you just relax? Obviously, I still think people should just talk to me like a normal person because, I am just a normal person. But it opened my eyes a little bit. Not that I think that I am just this super popular, amazing person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to say that I think I'm worthy of being freaked out over. I'm just saying that I'm a fan of Bodhi, and I got giddy when he said I was a good streamer. So if someone who is a fan of me got to talk to me and they were excited, it makes perfect sense. So that was a really eye-opening experience that happened to me. And, while I'm on the topic quickly, I would like to just also say that a comment I read, I commented on It's James' video, Logout. I'm sure most of you guys know him. We're pretty good friends, actually. I don't remember the first time he commented on one of my videos, but he did, and then I started watching his videos, and we just ended up, like, talking to each other, like, all the time through videos and on streams and all that stuff. So, someone commented on, I commented on his video, and I said, wow, this is, like, really good. I need to rewatch this whole series. And someone commented and said, wow, I think this is, it's so amazing how other YouTubers, like, push each other and support each other. And I thought, damn, that's so true. Like, that's what I'm talking about with the whole, if Bodhi said that, then that's, like, the same thing. Like, people in this community, as long as there's no beef, trust me, there's plenty of beef that goes on in this RuneScape streaming and video making community, and I have no idea why, but as long as they're, like, cool with each other, they support each other so much, and it's so nice to see, that someone bigger would reach out and care about smaller people. And so I think I talked about this in my last Scape and Listen, but damn, I feel strongly about this. It really means a lot. Okay, so now on to my, I don't know inspiring section or whatever have you. I guess my topic is more or less setting an example or setting the bar, if you will. Or basically that kind of, captivates my goal, as I was just talking about. So I'm going to start with a quote, as I almost always do. It is a quote by Rupert Murdoch, and the quote is as follows. In motivating people, you've got to engage their minds and their hearts. I motivate people, I hope, by example, and perhaps by excitement, by having productive ideas to make others feel involved. I read that and I was like, yes. See, that's exactly. Not only in these videos, but in all my videos and my live streams, I try to make everyone feel involved. And it's especially effective in the Escape and Listen videos where you guys say I sound like a motivational speaker. I involve you, right? And like every one of these, I ask you, how are you guys doing? How you been? Like, what's going on in your lives? In motivating people, you've got to engage their minds and their hearts. I motivate people, I hope, by example, and perhaps by excitement, by having productive ideas to make others feel involved. That is like just such a perfect quote to describe like my goal as a person on YouTube. It's so amazing. Before I move on, I would like to quickly, speak on the fact that Rupert Murdoch, the guy who quoted him, has a net worth of like 15 billion. So yeah, fuck him. Just kidding. I just thought I should let that be known before I moved on. So, okay. Thinking about that quote, I hope to engage or motivate them by example. That's what I want to talk about a little bit today. Leading by example. You hear it everywhere. You hear it in the sports world, anywhere you want, you hear about people saying, set the bar, set the tone, lead by example. That's one thing my coach always says in both basketball and football. They always say, if we want to win, we got to come out and we got to set the tone. We got to set the example as to how this is going to go. And I feel like that's so important in anyone's life, whether you're someone in a leadership position or not. Of course, someone like that's in a leadership position, like the president or whatever, they have to lead by example. Even someone that's, as small as me with a small YouTube channel, I have to lead by example, right? Even though I'm not big on YouTube and I'm not that popular, I have a fan base, right? And, some of these fans are pretty serious, and I appreciate the support. But some things that you say, it's so what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a domino effect. If I say something, even though I'm not that known, even if I say something, I could impact a larger scale. For example, here's an amazing example in the Runescape community. When a friend makes a money-making guide, and then that money-making method kind of goes to shit, that's it right there. That's a good example of it. That even as someone as small as us YouTubers, in comparison to something like the president, we can affect a larger scale thing by example. If I say, this item sucks really bad, I have probably convinced one person not to get it. And maybe, if I was bigger, I convince multiple people not to get it. And in turn, you can affect the economy of that item. These are all just examples I'm speaking in right now about how leading by example is so extremely applicable. And I feel like leading by example is so important in everyone's life, even if you don't do something like YouTube, even if you just, I don't know, let's say you frickin' work at Walmart. Hey, I'm sure someone that watching this video right now works at Walmart. Do your thing, man. Tell your managers to get more cashiers open. Anyway, here's the thing. Say someone handicap needs help at work. So you see that person and you decide, I'm gonna lead by example. I'm gonna help this person. Someone else sees you helping this person and they say, wow, that was really nice. I'm gonna help someone. And the cycle continues where you can do something so little. All you have to do is lead by example and do something so little. And you can start a chain reaction of kind words, kind deeds that could change someone's day. That could help someone's life. I mean, who knows? What if something major happens and they're inspired by something you see? Or that, they see you do and they get inspired. And then in turn, they somehow end up, doing something major because they were inspired by you. Leading by example is so important today because the younger generation, people that are younger than you, they are so subjective to what is cool and what others are doing. Now, I know that's kind of dumb for me to talk about because, well, I'm 17 years old. I kind of am in that range, right? I'm still in that impressionable age, somewhat, I guess, a little bit. But especially younger kids today. I've always had an issue with some rappers' lyrics, or any musician for that matter. Some of you guys actually don't know that I do listen to rap. On my live streams, I'm always listening to rock/metal, which is my favorite genre, but sometimes I do listen to rap, and I've always had a really big problem with people like Lil Wayne and, I don't know, fucking who else is awful, Nicki Minaj, and, people like that who, in their songs, rap about doing drugs and stuff. And I know this is going to sound really cliche when I'm saying this, but it's so fucked up. When the younger generation is so impressionable, they will fucking do anything that they see by someone they think is cool, and then they think whatever they're doing is cool. And that's not cool at all. And look, just one thing I can think of off the top of my head. In Lil Wayne songs, he talks about codeine. And if you don't know what codeine is, I think it's like cough syrup that you drink. And in personal experience, I actually have a friend that has come to school on codeine before, and it's fucked up. He's literally was like a zombie. He was literally asleep while walking. I was like, what the fuck? You should go home. And that, but in his songs, right, he's rapping about drinking codeine out of styrofoam cups or whatever. That's what the fuck they say, right? You don't think that with our younger generation that is so impressionable that they don't think, oh, cool, can I get some codeine somewhere? Lil Wayne's doing it, I bet it's fucking awesome. That's why I don't understand how these super popular musicians, figureheads, whatever, and they know that they're this popular, can say shit like that or do shit like that and not understand what they are doing to people. I know it can feel weird. Even I still sometimes forget that what I say can, affect people because I'm somewhat known or whatever. And sometimes I'll say something stupid in a joking way, but then I think, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. I really just overall shouldn't have said that. That was a bad idea. And I understand that even no matter how big you are, that shit happens. You forget, sometimes that what you say is so impressionable. But it's every song, it's every time they speak, it's about these things that are so wrong and not good to teach children that it's okay to do. This commentary just totally turned into a what's wrong with our society talk, which is okay. It's cool. These Scape and Listen videos are me just talking about whatever comes to my mind. But all in all here, live by example. If you can take anything from this, live by example. Understand no matter how, no matter how small you may feel, no matter how much you feel like you don't make an impact, understand that you do. You as a person impact so much that you don't realize. Try to realize it. it'll change the way you go about things. If you can think to yourself, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna live by example and do the right thing because maybe it'll impact someone else and it'll help someone else. I mean, that's so powerful. It's such a good way to live, and I really, really implore all of you to try it, you know? Hopefully some of these things I say in these progress videos, you hear them and then you actually apply them, you know, something like this. You know, understand that you do make a difference no matter what it is. No matter how small you may feel, you make a large impact in a large scale. You really do. Just understand that. And, well, that's about my whole discussion on living by example. Kind of my rant on living by example a little bit, but that's okay. That's alright. So, in the last Scape and Listen, sorry, I couldn't think of what the episode was called. In the last one, I forgot to link you guys to a video and a picture. A couple episodes ago, I said that I want to start linking you guys to an inspiring video or a video that I like, and some pictures that I found and I liked. And I forgot to do in the last episode, but we're going to pick it back up in this one, so I'm going to pause the recording for a second and get all my shit correct before I read it off to you. Alright guys, so the video I'm going to link you to is Boogie298's Draw My Life video. Listen, I'll be up front, guys. Definitely close to tears at one point. I'm not even fucking kidding. It's pretty moving. It probably doesn't help that I'm a really big fan of Boogie298, like a really big fan. I love his videos so much, but it's a pretty powerful video. I would most certainly give it a watch, and I think it fits in with my my theme of, you know, living by example, because here's my thoughts. He's a really big dude, right? So obviously people make fun of him. They call him fat occasionally, and he used to be bad. You know what? Just watch the video, and this will all be explained. But basically, the reason why I think this fits in with my lead by example thing is don't say hurtful things. It's like, you know what I mean? You might think that you're just saying something mean, it's just stupid. You're just saying something mean. They're not going to care. They care. Personal example for me. The other day, when I was live streaming, or no, I wasn't live streaming, I was watching Bodie's live stream, and he was talking, this is not the day that he said I was a good streamer or whatever. This is before that. He was talking about some streamers, and then someone in the chat said, what do you think about Mr. Mammal? And he didn't read it, and he didn't respond to it or anything, but someone, like, right after that said, you know, I used to watch Mr. Mammal, but now I just find him boring. And I was like, oh, thanks. And, like, all of his mods and his subscribers started laughing, like, they're all lolling in the chat, because that guy obviously didn't know I was in there when he said that. And you might think that might not, you know, affect someone, but even something as small as that, just him saying that he finds me boring, set me into a whirlwind of, fuck, what am I doing wrong? Why would he find me boring now? Like, you know, people, this could be a totally, this is like an entirely different Scape and Listen right here, but that's one of those things where you might not think that your words hurt people, but if whoever came up with the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me, is a fucking liar. Let's be honest here. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words hurt really bad. On a less serious note, let's move on to the picture for the video. This picture is actually a picture that I doodled the other day. I did it in literally like a half an hour. I didn't feel like shading it, and nor did I want to actually color it. So please, no haterino. This is not exactly Mr. Mammal's pristine art here. But I do really enjoy drawing. I know not all of you might know that I like drawing, or that I do draw occasionally. But I like doodling, and this is something I came up with the other day. I've really been wanting to get a tattoo. I've been thinking about wanting to get a tattoo, and this is like a cool idea, I thought. You know, as you guys know, I'm a really big fan of A Day to Remember, and I really like a lot of the lyrics in their songs, so I incorporated some cool designs with some lyrics. If I would have colored this, you could probably tell better, but as you can see the picture, it is a cross with an angel wing, and the one on the left is a devil wing. If I would have colored it, you probably would have been able to tell that better. but the cross is also cracked on the outside, on like the outer edges, but it is whole in the middle. Basically what this tattoo would mean to me is that I believe that people are good at heart, but can be altered in negative ways by their surroundings, which is why the outer parts of the cross are cracked, but the center is a whole. And one angel wing and one devil wing also represents a human struggle of good and bad forces, externally acting upon them. And then I just really like the lyrics, clenched fists held above me, you will never bring me to my knees. I really like those lyrics. So anyway, this is just a cool little design I doodled up in like 30 minutes. Like I said, I know it's probably not very good, and I'm sorry, but it was just something I came up with. So, anyway guys, that is going to be it for this Scape and Listen video. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and some feedback down below. How are you guys doing? Let me know what's going on with you guys. As always, I love interacting with you guys, so hope you all have a good day, and I will see you all later.